Did somebody say cue the intro music?
I
All
said
right.
music. Yeah, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
We'll
Here
get
we
there.
are. We are. We're gonna get there, but we're live. Episode 2 of the Island of Relevancy podcast. In this episode, I'm gonna try to say, or try not to say like and so many times. And I did it again. There we
Look,
go. I have to mute myself on my YouTube. I don't understand why I don't do that already. But episode 2, and we're on the road to WrestleMania. I'm excited, Frank. Like I don't know if you're excited as I am.
I'm excited. I was as we get closer, I'll tell more stories because I went last year when it was here in Philly. I'm excited, but not as excited as I was last year. Obviously, because it was here and I was going. So the build up to going was really awesome here because we were all trying to make our plans and see who's going where and who's doing what. And when we get closer, I can tell some stuff about what happened. One of my friends is actually going with his family. They're going both nights in Vegas.
Wow.
Paid for in full by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, that's a flex.
I'll make a long story short. When we were down in the parking lot, we were all dressed up. We were doing dumb stuff because, dummies. I was getting hit with a chair. I had a Hulk Hogan shirt on. I was I had the whole Hulkamaniac gear on because it was cheap on Amazon. What's up, Dom? And my friend Danny's son was in the parking lot playing Bago, and he falls over and he's like yelling in pain. And like at first, everybody's just like, okay, what'd you're being goofy. Well, he had a knee issue and he wasn't wearing his brace and he fell, like he turned wrong when he was playing the Bago and hurt his knee. Down he went. Danny's wife and his son ended up spending the night at Children's Hospital in Philly, missed all of WrestleMania.
Wow.
Like we were in the parking lot partying, ready to go. They missed the whole thing. So a bunch of people put some posts on Facebook. We're friends with a lot of bartenders in the area who are then friends with people in different organizations. A couple of different people reached out into the Eagles, and the Eagles got back in touch with them. And to make a long story short, the Eagles made it right for them, got them hotel, seats to WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. It happened in one of their parking lots, but they hooked the whole family up, brought them down on field during one of the games on the sideline and gave them like a chair and told them because everything was going to happen. Somebody else from the group tweeted to Cody on Twitter, and Cody's sister got back to them and shipped them a box of merch. Ended up with a signed Cody weight belt, T-shirts, and some dolls and not action figures, but like Funko Pops and stuff like that. Really,
was it a Cody Soul weight belt?
It was not. It was American Nightmare weight belt. It was an American Nightmare weight belt. This is pre-Soul.
Okay, got
it. It's a cool story nonetheless. So they're going,
for sure,
flying out there. They're going both nights. He's so excited because he's gonna see John Cena wrestle a whole match where I got to see John Cena for like 45 seconds to a minute.
Man, I think that video I sent you, I think he's going to see a little bit more than John Cena. I think that this WrestleMania is going to be crazy.
You'll see the John Cena ball spot.
Yeah, you will definitely, no matter where you sit in the audience, you're going to see that John Cena ball spot for sure.
Yeah, you are.
So I almost had a WrestleMania story. I was so close to buying tickets, and my wife was like, well, if you're going to Vegas for WrestleMania, then me and my daughter, her and my daughter wanted to go see Adele, and the tickets to Adele are more expensive than the WrestleMania tickets.
I can imagine.
So then I said, you know what? We'll stay home and watch both from the comfort of our own home.
Was she at the Sphere by any chance, or is she just at a casino?
I don't know where she plays. She has a residency out there, but so my wife was looking up these tickets, and the tickets are like $2,500 a person. Like, and I was like, are these good seats? She was like, no. I was like, are you sure you looked up the right seats? Because that doesn't make any sense. Like anything over $2,000 doesn't make any sense for a residency.
No, but my sister, not to go totally off topic, my sister just at the beginning of the year My sister, brother-in-law, and her 2 daughters went to see Taylor Swift in Toronto at the Sky Dome. So they drove up. She said that was not a cheap seat at all. They drove from basically they live about an hour north of Philly, but they drove from Philly to Toronto. Did that. My brother-in-law texted me from the Hockey Hall of Fame telling me how basically like blah it is. Like it's like you're standing in a food court, and then you go down these steps, and the Hockey Hall of Fame's there. So it's not like I've
not
been
like Cooperstown.
Yeah. Like I went to Cooperstown. They stopped at Cooperstown on the way back. I was there a couple years ago with my godson. Cooperstown was amazing. Hockey is the only one I haven't seen, and now I'm like, well, damn.
Right. It's a bunch of sticks there. Wayne Gretzky has one stick and a plaque, and everybody else is just like around.
Right. Like you guys were here, but he's here.
Yeah, but I mean, I was trying to tie in Toronto to a wrestling topic. It was the site of Elimination Chamber.
It was.
And this Friday, we got a little more of that Elimination Chamber fallout with Friday Night Smackdown.
Yes, we did.
That is a segue.
See that? We didn't even plan that. That's good stuff.
No.
It had some decent matches. Piper Niven is one of the unsung heroes of that women's division.
Yes.
She is just constantly hitting, and it's like she's almost playing like a Big Show type of character, like when the Big Show did all them different costumes and like kind of impersonations. But I think she's doing it better because she's not doing impersonations. But so she wrestled Tiffany Stratton. That seemed to be like that wasn't a bad match. I think I watched most of SmackDown.
I think I did not finish the Tiffany Stratton Piper Niven match. I had to do something, and I just never went back and finished it.
So as we go to WrestleMania, it got the typical run-ins. Charlotte Flair came out, took her out. That's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be coming up to it. Charlotte went from being a face to a heel real fast because the crowd started booing her. As a good move. She's better as a bad guy anyway.
Yes. I don't think she's ever going to be a face again up until maybe her final run. Kind of like at the end when she says, well, you know what, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Or, they could create a storyline, something that's going to involve Becky Lynch somehow. And then she'll get a face run. She'll probably get the tag team championships with her and Becky Lynch. They'll go on like one hell of a run.
That'd be cool.
And they'll probably both retire around the same time too. I mean, they all came in around the same time. They're all around the same age. So that would be a cool final run, her and Becky running with the tag team, or her and Bayley. Pick a 4-horsewoman,
Yeah. I would love to see all 4 of them in the ring like the Clique.
That just probably never is going to happen, but that would be dope.
Give me a goodbye like that, but no, that's not going to happen.
You know what? It might. Triple H is not Vince. Triple H might let Sasha come back in, or Mercedes come back in for one moment.
That's right.
Where they all hug each other.
I forgot she was. Yep, she's the 4th.
Yeah, I think he would do that for her, like something like Hall of Fame type thing.
Yeah.
And you're right. Kenny just popped in, said the run-ins are so repetitive. Jey Uso gets choked out every week.
Now,
Fusely.
There used to be a thing where with the run-ins, if the good guy always came out on top of the run-in, you knew the bad guy was going to win. So
correct.
The bad guy's coming out on top in the run-ins. I don't know if the good guy's going to win. I don't know if they're going to put the belt on Jey Uso. I would love to see Jey. Jey couldn't be more over with that crowd than he is. I would love to see Jey Uso with the belt.
If so, flashback 2 years when Cody lost in the main event, and the discourse in the crowd, the discourse on the internet, like the people on the internet are probably going to love it because the people on the internet aren't big Jey Uso fans, but the crowd is going to be deflated. But if he wins, that will be a WrestleMania moment akin to Daniel Bryan. Yes. Like, I mean, the yeets. Oh my gosh. That moment itself is going to be played in WrestleManias for the next 50 years. Like that moment would be just like, because the whole crowd,
Yep.
if you seeing the whole crowd doing oh man, it'll be a moment, man. I think.
And I know we're not close enough to start kind of setting where the matches are going to be, but you kind of are with the way it's looking like it's mapped out. They're going to have to open night 1.
Yeah,
Like
they should.
They're not main event in night 2. That's absolutely Cody and John Cena and whatever else is going on there, right? Maybe.
I don't know.
Well,
I keep hearing that CM Punk, Roman, and Seth might close out night 2, which doesn't make any sense to me, but
it doesn't.
it's
Well, that should be. See, you got so many good matches and so many triple threat matches, but to have them open is better than having them go at like 3rd or 4th. Because if you remember, and night 2 at WrestleMania 40, the opening match was Seth Rollins and
Damian Priest. Oh, no, Drew McIntyre. You're right. Damian cashed in.
Right. Yeah. Now, I understand that probably was to get Seth like healed up to be part of the main event.
Mm-hmm.
But like Kenny said, it's in terms of star power, you want to start off strong like that. Do it.
Yeah, traditionally WrestleMania always starts off like the opening match for WrestleMania is kind of like, I mean, it's the second biggest match of the night. Yep. The opening match for WrestleMania. Like it just is. It's generally.
Go ahead.
I say it's generally like a star making match for somebody. Like it is gonna make a star. They're not the main event,
right?
But they're close.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jay and Gunther start off one of the 2 nights and having one of the women's match start off one of the other 2 nights, because you got the women triple. It's going to be a triple threat. It's going to be It's going to be Io, Rhea, and Bianca. And the other one's Tiffany and Charlotte. I wouldn't mind seeing a triple threat start off one of the nights and Jay and Gunther start off one of the nights.
I could see that. So I feel bad. Like I honestly do feel bad for the women because I think that they deserve a main event for one of the nights.
Absolutely. But
if
look,
anyone
stacked.
But it feels like that was the excuse last year. And then Rhea and Charlotte went out there and put on probably the match of the weekend. Or was that last year or was that year before last?
Year before last. Charlotte was still hurt last.
Yeah, you're right. That was year before last when the Usos and those guys closed out the night 1.
I would love to see Kenny'd love to see Bianca, Rhea, and Io main event night 1. I think that'd be great. I would love to see that.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking. I think that would be after Monday night, and we'll get there. I think that they're going to really cook coming up in the next few weeks.
Oh, but does Charlotte's star power pull her into a main event?
No. So
good.
Let's talk about star power for a second. Star power is different from drawing power. Like I don't think Tiffany and Charlotte is a big money draw like people think. For wrestling purists, I think it's going to be a great match. I think they're perfectly matched with each other. They're kind of like, it's kind of like the T1000 going up against the T100. If you could say, it's kind of like that to me, because Tiffany Stratton is like a stronger, more athletic, faster Charlotte, like Charlotte 10 years ago, maybe. I mean, and that's no knock on Charlotte. Charlotte is a flair. She's the most decorated woman, on the planet. But
Charlotte's plastic woman.
Yeah, and now she is. She's lost a lot of weight too. Like she doesn't look good. Like
she does not. If you look at a picture of her now and a picture of her 5 years ago, she looks better. Maybe that's why Andrade.
She was jacked. She looked like, and I don't like just digging in on people, but she looks like something is not quite right. but we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
I don't want to go my Charlotte rant.
No. Back to SmackDown.
Yes.
The second match in the night was a triple threat, or was a tornado tag. Motor City Machine Guns, Pretty Deadly, and Laos Graza.
Next match, like Pretty Deadly won. Like
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole little skit that they did with Nick Aldis explaining the tag team storyline with the whiteboard was interesting and cool because that's not something they normally do.
That's true. But none of those tag teams seem to matter.
No.
Like it just they're just there. It's like you're explaining that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like none of them matter. Like you haven't built them up enough. The Motor City Machine Guns are like an afterthought now. Everybody wants to see the Street Profits. Like I like the new edgy Street Profits. I don't care about any of these other teams now.
And then we get to what was at the time the moment of the night, right?
Oh
This was the moment of the night. Bianca came down and called Naomi out. And Naomi came down with her bedazzled neck brace and all of her bedazzling. And honestly, when she came down, I really did not expect this to be anything. I thought this was just going to be another, I did it for The Rock. Like everybody's, but they cooked.
Man. Like at first I was laughing because I was like, oh, this is terrible. But then when Bianca started crying and Naomi started crying, I was like, yo, they're really going in, man. Like they're really like they were really into it and they sold it so well.
They
like
really did.
It started off a little janky, and when when Naomi said, she's been riding your coattails this whole time, I was like, I felt that. I was like, oh, she really means this.
And they said backstage that they gave Naomi like high praise for how well she came off. This was the first time that she's gotten to actually do a promo and not just come out all glowing and doing their split.
Yes.
There was real emotion in that. And it was powerful. It was really, really powerful stuff. And then Jade's music hit and Bianca was just like, all right, go get her. And then there we go again. And Jade came down and
Did you hear Naomi scream for Bianca when she hit her with the jaded? Like that was the chef's kiss. That was the greatest moment of that whole segment was she screamed out Bianca, like, please come save me.
Yep.
And that was the moment. And then they've just exploded Twitter ever since. That they've been the highlight of Twitter for the entire week.
They've all been doing really good on Twitter.
Yes.
Them, Liv getting into it, then Rhea and Io and Bianca, and then them getting into it, and then I normally hate social media, but these women right now, even the men usually do a good job on Twitter. The Rock used it to his advantage last year, leading up to WrestleMania really well.
Drew is the Twitter king. Drew's the Twitter king.
Drew is great, and so Kevin Owens too.
Yes, KO.
Yeah, that Bianca Jade Naomi segment was so high up. To follow that up with Braun Strowman and Solo Sikoa, was just like sucked the wind right back out of it. I loved me some Solo when he didn't talk.
Yes, that's my fear with Jacob. Is like, but Jacob's such a different character. He can talk. Solo is goofy.
I would love a Bianca Jade Naomi trade. You might get that down the line.
That's going to happen down the line. Just not. I would love it at Mania.
There's more to that. It's not just going to be cut. And Triple H doesn't just cut and dry. Like it's just going to be Naomi did it. Bianca's definitely going to have something to do with this down the line. I guarantee it. If not, we'll chalk that one up to another one where I'm wrong.
You know what's crazy though? You might see Bianca fight both nights. They might wrap Bianca up into this. Bianca is the best. She is the EST. She can do it both nights. I would not be surprised because of the star power in that match. Now, would it take away from Jade and Naomi a little bit? Yes. But that's a money match.
It is.
That's a money match.
And what Kenny said here, all Jade has to do is attack Bianca because you let this happen to me. Same way Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn for just standing and letting it happen. You could do the same thing. Just switch the up a little bit.
I thought she was going to do that. I honestly thought she was going to do that on Friday. I thought she was going to rock her when she stood there and stared at her, and she shook her head, and that was telling.
Yep.
That was telling. She shook her head like, "Oh yeah, you're next." That was almost like after I'm done with her, you're probably going to be next, and I'm here for that.
So the Braun and Solo match, Tama Tonk interferes. Jacob Fatu showed up. They had a little bit of battle, and Strowman won by DQ. Okay. Okay. They got 3 hours to fill, so got to do something, right? I guess.
I mean, they got 2 nights of WrestleMania, and these guys are going to get one of them. Like, they're going to get a match at WrestleMania. I think they're building to Jacob versus Braun.
But we saw that. Yeah. Then they played the Cody video where he told Lex Luger he was going to the Hall of Fame. Awesome. Loved it.
I did love that.
Loved it. Chelsea Green versus Meechin.
I love Chelsea Green so much.
Did you see what she said about Philly?
That they were like the best town. They were the greatest wrestling town. And I ignore. After she said nice things about Philly, I started ignoring her. I was like,
Chelsea Green, Rose, she's at the top now for me for just saying that.
Yeah, no, she's awesome. I really love Chelsea Green. The Cactus Jack get up, come on. Like, you can't beat that. Like, she comes up. Oh, man. She's so good. Yes, she gets it. She understands the business so much, and she gives so much to the business. She deserves it all, man.
And if she doesn't totally get it, whoever is whispering in her ear, doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
And then Alba Fire showed up, and now she's the other security guard, right?
Yes, the Secret Hervis. The Secret Hervis.
Yeah. Whatever. It was just that's awesome. Beings at Smackdown was in Philadelphia. Meechin had an Eagles jersey.
Of course she did.
Way to play to the crowd.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
And still lost.
She did. Then we got Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso.
For the 20th time.
We could do without Meechin versus Chelsea Green for a while. Like we can like we're done. Like I don't need a 7 match run up.
Yeah.
We're
3 out of
Kenny, we're good. I agree with you, Kenny. We're good.
Best of 7.
Look, I love Jimmy. I just think that he's not grabbing the crowd. No, Jimmy. Jay's a good one.
No, he's not Jay. He's not
right. He's not Jay.
He's not Jay.
Hit the way Jay's does, and I don't know. Drew wins. Damian Priest comes out, messes with Drew. Okay. That's
the Mania match. Drew and Damian. And I feel bad. I feel bad for both of those guys. I feel like they deserve a place.
Yeah. I mean,
higher in the card, but
they both had their moment last year.
That is true.
But Jimmy is better on the mic than Jay. Yes, Kenny. I do agree with that.
You're 100% correct on that. Jimmy has it on the mic. Like he has the aura. Jay is stumbles on the mic a lot. Jay stumbles a lot, but he has the energy.
Right.
He don't have to talk.
No, he could just fall back and go yeet, and the crowd will just forget what he was saying. Right.
Yes, correct.
And we get LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And this was an interesting match. What's up, Tank? LA Knight won, which I didn't expect to happen. Because you don't usually get a big title change. Like, well, Triple H actually doesn't care. He'll have a title change on any show. But from what I was reading, Nakamura's contract is up soon, and he doesn't want to renew.
I think his brother, I don't know, but I think his brother's death has a lot to do with that. He's been kind of floating the stop and start pushes. And from what I've read, he was really close to his brother.
Yeah.
And that's tough. That's tough.
Sure,
especially being in a different country and juggling the WWE schedule, he can go back to New Japan. He's a god in Japan.
Yeah.
Like
And
he is
he'll get the work he needs.
back home. He's with family, so I could see that happening for sure.
And I like the fact that you really didn't know who was going to win. Like, you expect Nakamura to win, and then LA Knight pulls the win out, and then he'll go and fight Logan Paul again, right? Oh no, wait,
No, he
no,
can't.
Logan fighting AJ. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Logan fighting AJ. That's right. And then the last thing to happen is we get Cody to come out, right? And Cody comes out and delivers one hell of a promo. It was a hell of a promo.
I love Cody Rhodes. He comes out there. The black eye makes it better. The black eye kind of just amplifies it that much more. It's real. And he says, "You want some? Come get some." Like he's such a baby face. He gives those passionate promos.
Oh, this was by far his best promo work since WrestleMania last year.
I can see that. And WWE does this really well when they don't have a superstar there. The other superstar, like when Drew McIntyre and CM Punk were feuding, CM Punk wasn't there half the time because he was injured, but Drew carried it. He carried that feud through him not being there.
Oh,
and
God. Yeah.
Cody's doing the same thing. Cody's carrying this feud. John's not here. He's filming a movie. And Cody is just carrying this thing, man.
I said this. I don't know if I said this in our chat where we were talking or if I said it to friends of mine, but Cody Rhodes has that Hulk Hogan aura baby face, like where back in the day, not now Hulk Hogan, back in the day Hulk Hogan could not do anything wrong, was the ultimate baby face, had the shine, everything was perfect for him. Back then, not now, back then. Cody has that now, where he's got the shine and a shiner, and everything just sits and falls right for him, and it's working, and except for the big ass neck tattoo, but everything else is working.
So you don't watch AEW? Have you ever watched AEW?
Not clips here and there.
Okay, so Cody Rhodes
clips for a long time, but
you watch what?
I watched clips of MJF for a while.
Okay,
but even now I'm like, ugh.
So Cody, before he came back to WWE, was in AEW. And I think one of the reasons he left AEW was because the way the crowd and everybody treated his wife, because they would chant the nastiest things to her when she was in the ring. And it was bad. Yeah. But like he would come to the ring and he would give the exact same promos in AEW and he would get booed out of the building. Like when he started speaking, if he came to the ring, because he is a baby, he is the ultimate baby face, like Kenny said. He would come to the ring and give those passionate speeches, and the AEW crowd would literally boo him out the building. The second he started talking, if he said, "What do you want to talk about?" literally the crowd just started booing. Like they would just go up. They treated him and his wife just terribly, and like he would have these matches where a lot of it felt like he was trying so hard to get over as like the ultimate baby. People wanted him to turn heel.
Right.
Kind of like they wanted Cena to turn heel and he just wouldn't. And he would do these things that and it just didn't work in AEW because he is a WWE guy. Like he's a pomp and circumstance guy. Like, and that's what he does really well. And that's what the families love. That's what the kids love. That's why he is so beloved. And I thought about that when he said, "I'm the captain now." I thought of that like the last speech he gave in AEW it was almost like Hogan, the NWO suite, when people were throwing stuff at him, like he was getting, like it was bad. And it was so bad. I felt horrible for this guy because he's in the ring crying almost. And they treated him like trash, man.
Oh.
But he is the ultimate babyface. I really respect what he's doing now. And I can't wait till he turns heel because he's going to be even better heel. I think he's going to kill it.
I think he will too. I think he's going to elevate it. Before we do Raw, in honor of Raw having a steel cage match at Madison Square Garden, I went to ChatGPT and I grabbed the top 10. I put in, what are the top 10 steel cage matches in wrestling history? Not WWE, went wrestling history. Okay.
I would love to hear this list.
I'm going to run through the 10 according to ChatGPT, there are many, many, many lists out there that have some variations of these, and some of these I haven't seen on a list before. So they have number 10, speaking of Cody Rhodes versus Wardlow, AEW Dynamite 2020. Why? Because it's the first steel cage match in AEW's history, and Cody does a moonsault off the top.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember it either. I didn't see it. It's an AEW thing. I didn't see it. Number 9, I have seen video of. I was a young man. Jimmy Snuka versus Don Morocco, Madison Square Garden, 1983. That was Jimmy Snuka standing on top of the cage with the "I love you." And then I believe it was Edge is actually in the crowd as a young man. Somebody current in the
Jericho.
It was a Jericho.
It was Jericho that was in the crowd. I think. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember.
So that's
was it Cactus Jack?
I
think it was Mick Foley. Mick Foley, Mama Foley's baby boy. Yes, it was him.
So that was 1983. That's one of the most iconic moments in WWE history is that. And then we don't talk about Jimmy anymore.
No. He lost the match, by the way.
Yeah, he did. Don Morocco with a rare win.
Yes.
Number 8, Edge versus Matt Hardy, WWE Unforgiven 2005. This was the culmination of the real life love triangle between Edge, Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy's real life girlfriend Lita, who became Edge's real life girlfriend Lita, who was Edge's in character girlfriend Lita. That was some messy stuff.
Messy. Luckily, social media wasn't where it was then, because it would have been insane. Insane.
Number 7, this is a hell of a match. Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk versus the Dudley Boys, ECW Heatwave 1998.
That was
hardcore steel cage match.
That sounds insane.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see that one either.
I have been to the ECW arena. I saw some ECW matches live. A friend of mine said to me one night, "Let's go. We're going to go watch a wrestling match." I'm like, "Nah, that sounds dumb." He's like, No. We're going to South Philly. Bring a hockey stick." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? Bring a hockey stick." He said, "Bring a hockey stick." I brought a hockey stick. It got yanked out of my hands by a wrestler. I don't know who it was, and cracked over somebody's head.
That sounds awesome. That I wish I could have went to the ECW arena.
Another side note, really fast before I continue with this. I worked for a local cover band. We played all kinds of clubs all over. We were playing a club down in Essington, PA. It's down below the airport. I'm wheeling the equipment out. It's 2:30 in the morning. The bouncer stops me. He goes, "Yo, you like wrestling?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Why?" He's like, "You know who that is?" And there was a man sitting at the front bar, passed out asleep. I'm like, "No, who is that?" He's like, "That's Sandman." I'm like, "What?" And I went over, and sure enough, passed out on the bar.
That tracks.
2:30 in the morning.
That tracks. Sandman.
Number 6, Undertaker, Mankind, King of the Ring, 1998.
All of these matches, I don't.
Cell match.
That shouldn't count as that's not a steel cage match.
It's not. But
that is the greatest Hell in a Cell match,
absolutely,
perhaps ever.
Absolutely,
perhaps ever.
Number 5, Hulk Hogan versus Paul Orndorff, Saturday Night Main Event, 1987.
Fun fact: my first wrestling event that I ever went to in Madison Square Garden, the main event was Hulk Hogan versus Big Boss Man in a steel cage.
Oh,
yes. So yes,
I believe if I'm correct, these were the big blue steel cages.
Yes, right? Correct. Those are the old school steel cages, the big blue ones.
Number 4, this goes back to one of my favorite wrestling promotions. Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard in an I Quit match at Starrcade 85, 1985. They say that this is one of the most violent and personal feuds of the 80s. Magnum TA used a piece of broken wood to force Tully to quit. I was a huge Magnum TA fan back in the day.
Man, poor Magnum TA. He was the guy. He was the guy until he was in a car. He was in a car accident, right?
Yeah. Magnum TA had one of the greatest mullets of all time. God.
The mullet and mustache. He was he was wrestling's Tom Selleck. He was.
He was. Number 3, we got Randy Orton versus Ric Flair, Raw 2004.
I don't believe that's true. 2004 Ric Flair is not giving you the best steel cage match.
This was this would have been Evolution, right? That would have been
Evolution. This is probably babyface Randy Orton after he left. I don't believe that.
ChatGPT is not hitting on all. Now these last two. Number 2 is Ric Flair versus Kerry Von Erich, WCCW Christmas Star Wars 1982. I'll
agree with that only because of the Iron Claw. Like it had to been a great match.
Apparently, this legendary match featured the NWA World Title on the line and had the added drama of Michael Hayes and the infamous Freebird turn on Von Erich.
Okay, that wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, number 1. I've seen this on a bunch of different lists at neither 1 or 2. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, SummerSlam '94.
Great match. Now that I can get with. Great, that was a great match.
This is a weird list, and Kenny has a ChatGPT issue. He said himself. He asked for every John Cena versus Eddie Guerrero match. They gave him 4 matches, and 2 of the Smackdowns that they gave him, they didn't even speak to each other. That's hilarious.
Okay, that's a weird thing to ask ChatGPT, but okay.
Hey, look, man, don't ever look at my ChatGPT search. I got some weird stuff on there. Clean, but weird.
You know what? After my ChatGPT searching for like theme music and logos, I believe you.
I tried to search ChatGPT for theme for tonight, and it just was like beeps and dashes. It was horrible.
So before we move on, because you brought up cage matches, and this week had 2 great cage matches.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already established that you don't watch AEW.
Mm-mm.
We're gonna play a game, and I want you to guess the winner of all of these matches by me just giving you the name of the people involved in the match.
Okay.
All right. So AEW's Revolution was on Sunday. Shout out to Kenny, by the way. Thank you so much. You are a man of culture. But I watched Kenny. We were all in the live chat. A few other people in the Discord chat. We were watching AEW Revolution, and it has some interesting matches. The first match was MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Hangman Page. Who do you think won that match? Just from their name.
I got to go MJF.
It was not. Hangman Page beat MJF after he hit Angel Wings, where MJF went face first. Like he has a big nose already. I'm 90% sure he might have broke his nose with this Angel Wings, and then hit him with a buckshot lariat, and the match was over. So Hangman won that first one. You're 0 for 1. Match number 2, Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe for the TBS title.
I had to say Mercedes.
You are correct, sir. She beat her with the bank statement. I don't know what she calls it now, the money statement, the money clip, whatever. But she won that one. But Momo kicked the crap out of her. Those Japanese women are stiff, and she was kicking her ass the whole match.
All right.
Match number 3. So you're 1 for 1. Match number 3, Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet. Number 1 contenders match.
Swerve Strickland. There's no way Ricochet is winning anything.
That Ricochet is on a run. Like Ricochet's gone to AEW. He's a heel now.
Did he win?
No, he didn't win.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Swerve is the guy. Swerve is AEW's guy.
I know the name. I know that Ricochet is winning at life when he leaves AEW and goes home.
Yes.
Okay.
But Swerve was in NXT for a while. He's part of Hit Row, and then he got fired.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Swerve won. Next match. So you're 2-1. Next match, Kazuchika Okada versus Brody King for the AEW Continental Championship.
I'm going to say the first one.
Kazuchika Okada.
I have no idea who has anything.
So Kazuchika Okada was the champion. He is still the champion. He did win. So you're 3-1. Kazuchika Okada is top 3 wrestlers in the world.
Okay.
I love that guy. He's from New Japan.
Is that the guy that came back and had a thing in the ring with Moxley at one point?
No, you're thinking of Kenny Omega.
No, I know Kenny Omega did, but there was a Japanese wrestler that came in the ring. Did he have a moment? Was it Daniel Bryan?
No, that was I know who you're talking about. What is this guy's name? Bald-headed guy. I can't think of his name right now.
I know snippets. All right, go ahead. I'm 3-1. I'm rolling.
All right. Next match. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum.
I got to go with Turbo Floyd because his name's Turbo. And I love me Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, but any man named Turbo gets my vote.
Whatever you do, you have to go watch some Outrunners clips. Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum, they're like, they call themselves the 20-year rookies. They're these old, they look like Hulk Hogan, and they go in there, they're like 80s style. They're hilarious. You have to, no, they did not.
Damn.
Bobby Lashley and those guys killed them in the ring.
Okay.
They hurt people. That's the thing.
I get it. I mean, I had a feeling that's who won, but I got to go with a guy. Turbo and Truth, those names just need winning.
That's why I wanted to do this contest. Because I didn't think you watch AEW, but just those names alone, just win.
Yes.
They're winning at life.
Yes.
All right. Next match, the Hollywood ending match. You got Timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the AEW Women's World Championship.
Toni Storm.
Toni Storm won, and perhaps the match of the year. This match was amazing. Okay. It was a no holds barred.
I think I saw stuff about that on social media somewhere.
Great match.
Okay.
Great match. Tony won. So what are you? 4-1? 4-2.
4-2.
4-2.
4-2. That's a big call.
All right. This is so we'll talk about AEW's pay-per-views in a second. Next match. Kenny Omega versus the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita for the AEW International Championship.
I can't see Kenny Omega losing after being out for so long.
Yes, he won. Kenny Omega beat Takeshita for the first time because Takeshita has had his number.
Okay.
Takeshita is a great wrestler, by the way. Kenny Omega is Kenny Omega.
And he got a belt now.
Yes, and he has a belt now. All right, next match, steel cage match, which is the cause for a lot of controversy in the internet. We got the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay versus the protostar, Kyle Fletcher.
All right, so I know Will Ospreay was Triple H wanted him. So I'm going to go with him.
Will Ospreay won. They did a Spanish fly off of the top of the cage.
Bill Cosby was in the match?
No, no, not that Spanish fly.
You too?
Not that. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that's so funny because I haven't heard somebody reference Spanish fly in so very long. Only people on the East Coast, I think, know what that is.
And only old men know what that is.
Yes, correct. Hilarious. But yes, Kenny, Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, they had this cage match that was incredible. It was too many spots.
Okay.
He chased him up to the top of a cage with a screwdriver. He stabbed him on the top of the cage with a screwdriver. And he hit a Spanish fly. Then he hit like 2 other moves after that. And it was like, man, it was death incarnate. And it was a pretty good cage match. It was a great cage match. But yeah. Yes, you are right. So what is that? 6-1 or 6-2 or 5-2?
Baby.
6-2. And now finally going to the last match, the main event.
Damn.
We had Jon Moxley versus Cope, formerly known as Edge, formerly known as Adam Copeland, but now they just call him Cope in AEW for the AEW World title.
All right. I'm going to pick Moxley just because it seems like he just can't lose.
And you would be right. At some point in time during the match, Christian Cage, who has a contract to cash in for a world title shot anytime he wants, not a Money in the Bank contract, but a contract that he has to physically sign, he cashed in. And yes, in the ring, he has to sign the contract. He signed it, cashed in, and got choked out by Mox. And that's how he won. So,
damn.
Super long card. After every AEW event, you're just tired because it's just great wrestling up until the main event.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a lot. And there were 3 matches on the pre-show. Like those cards are super long. Like generally it's like a 4 or 5 hour, yes, Kenny, you're right. the main event is the worst match of the night. It was embarrassing. The fans booed.
Is it because they're tired of seeing Jon Moxley and two like really old men wrestling right now?
So after nothing should have followed the steel cage. The only thing that could have followed the steel cage was Tony Storm and Mariah May, because they've told the best wrestlers. They've told the greatest AEW wrestling story, period.
Mm-hmm.
So that match could have followed, but nothing else could have followed it. You have two young guys who are just flying all over the place. And then you have two old guys who are like doing rest holds and like just putting each other in headlocks. And it just didn't work. But yeah, it was long. And the night ended with Swerve jumping from the stands on top of Moxley to let him know that he's coming for his world championship. So that was a very long event. And I spent way more time talking about it than I thought I would. But you won the game. I thought the game with Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum was the only reason for this game.
I'm happy enough just to know that there's a wrestler named Turbo and Truth.
Yes.
They sound like two guys from Breaking the movie. Again,
yes.
I'm gonna keep making old people references because we get them.
Yes. All right. So moving on from Sunday night, that crazy steel cage match, and we had another one to end Monday Night Raw. And I've had the same Friday Night Smackdown banner up this entire time. We'll go to the Monday Night Raw recap.
Monday was packed. Again, we said it last week, and we've said it. We've chatted it. 2.5 hours. WWE hit the sweet spot.
Correct.
That they're cooking with 2.5 hours at Raw. The first match we get Jey Uso versus Grayson Waller, which was a banger. Now I didn't watch this live. I had we had the other show I did, and I had other stuff going on so I wasn't able to watch it live. It was a banger of a match.
Grayson Waller is a good wrestler. I think Grayson Waller can go with anybody. I think he just is never. I don't think he's ever going to get his due. I think he has a terrible gimmick. I think
awful.
Like the boxing shorts just don't do it.
But we're under the lights of Madison Square Garden, the Mecca in New York. I've never been there. I took a train under it, but I've actually never been in the building technically. Still, there was a great match, and then Gunther came out and put Jey Uso to sleep,
as he should. That's what Gunther should do. He's a troll. He is the perfect troll, and he's gonna, like he said. I don't think he's doing enough to Jey Uso. I think just the stuff he's doing, I think he needs to turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, he said he's going to make him suffer.
Yeah, he hasn't. Putting him to sleep ain't making him suffer. That's just putting him to sleep.
And then we had a little shtick with a comedian, with Logan Paul. AJ Styles came out.
Awkward segment.
They're gonna.
That was. Oh yeah, they are. They're gonna have a great match, but the segments are not gonna work because I don't think those two really mesh with each other talk wise.
No. WWE is selling "I Hate Logan Paul" t-shirts. They're probably going to rise to the top of their sales. So
yes.
One thing that Logan Paul said that was kind of funny. He said, "Dwayne The Rock, the final boss, whatever you're going to call yourself, consider my soul for sale." So maybe The Rock gives him a little bit of a rub to get him. I don't know.
I mean, I'll be totally honest with you. Jake Paul has a lot of followers. I don't really think he needs a Dwayne Johnson rub, man. I don't think he does.
And then we get a tornado tag match. We get Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus the New Day.
Love the New Day's theme now. It's grown on me. I love their new Tron. I love their whole new package.
Yep.
They need to fight other people. The LW Vortex is just it brings you down.
Unfortunately,
I hate to say that.
Unfortunately it does. New Day get a win, which is good.
They got help from somebody. Who helped them? Who was that guy?
Masked Man. Thank you.
Who was that guy?
It wasn't.
Gracias.
It was, but it wasn't, right? So maybe it was Chad Gable. Now, there's a rumor going around that when Chad Gable was being interviewed by Kathy Kelly in the back, and she was accusing him of being the guy under the mask, then in the background, you see them security taking the guy in the mask out.
Yes.
There's a rumor that was Rey Fenix.
No. That's a good rumor. I like that. I like that.
I don't know.
That was hilarious. That was so funny. I love Chad Gable's another guy. Just he don't get enough credit.
No,
he's great.
And Pat McAfee just continues to just be an all-star with Michael Cole. The chemistry the two of them have is like that's like JR and Lawler back in the day. Like two guys just mesh perfectly together.
They do.
And then we get a little backstage segment with Judgment Day. Dominic set up Finn to have a championship match against Braun Breaker. Dom side-eyeing the camera a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, two things to note about two of the wrestlers. Dominic isn't going by Dirty Dom anymore. They've removed the dirty from his name.
They have.
Seth Rollins doesn't have freaking in his name anymore.
Thank goodness.
Seth Rollins. Yes, thank goodness. So we get Braun Breaker and Finn Balor coming up. My, how far Finn's fallen.
I don't think, and it's not because he's not a great talent. I think he's too small. Like, in all honesty, like when he was going up against Damian Priest, it was like, you have no chance of beating. Like, he's a great wrestler, but Damian Priest is a great wrestler too, and he's a great striker, and he's just bigger than him. Like, he just looks so small compared to the big guys in the ring.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Then we bring Cody out for another promo, which is good. This was another good promo, and he confirmed that John Cena will be in Italy next week when Raw comes to Italy, and the people of the United States get to see Raw at 3:00 p.m. except me, because we block Netflix at work because of a couple of our branches sucking the bandwidth down. So thank you, everybody at my company, for doing that and keeping me from watching Raw.
I'm sorry. I'll be watching Raw live. It comes on 1:00 here. I will be at home watching Raw.
Cody Rhodes promised that John Cena would not win his 17th world title and said that he was the captain.
That when he said that, I got goosebumps, like The Rock said. I got goosebumps. That's so funny. That's such a great line.
And I like the fact that this promo was not a 15-minute promo. It was short. It was to the point. He got his message across. He was on Raw. He was in Madison Square Garden. He did what he needed to do. Like you said earlier, how Drew carried CM Punk. Cody, again, is doing the heavy lifting to get them to Europe so John Cena can show up.
I'm so impressed. I really thought the crowd would have turned on him by now, but they haven't. Like, he is, like, I'm so impressed with that. I was for certain that, especially after he got beat up by John Cena, I thought the crowd was just going to turn on him. I thought he was going to get a whole bunch of Cena chants, but no, the crowd still loves him. He's still Cody. He still comes out there and gives these crazy baby face speeches. And I'm the captain. I want that on the t-shirt with Cody's face. Like, I know Captain Phillips. I get where it comes from, but like just that whole, such a great moment for Cody.
And we, once again, Triple H follows up a hell of a fucking promo with as Kenny said earlier that the Kenny Omega match was his bathroom match. Bayley versus Raquel Rodriguez is a bathroom match for me. That's a match
that was a number one contender for the women's intercontinental. Where did that come from? It was just like, two people, number one contender.
I have no idea. Where is it? Where they called her? The site that's giving me the rundown called Raquel Rodriguez Big Mommy Cool.
Yeah, I've heard that being used. I think Pat McAfee's called her that before.
Okay, that makes sense.
No, thank you. You keep. No, she's not.
She's just so one dimensional. Raquel is. There's nothing to her character. Yes. She's boring. And
she wears shades. She wears shades. She does wear
Where's a bandana?
Yeah, she has a bandana. She
I
wears
wear a
shit.
backwards Flyers hat to hockey games that I haven't washed in 20 years. Congratulations to me too.
Yes. Yeah, she doesn't. In NXT she had it, but not anymore. I don't know what happened.
Raquel versus Valkyria for the Intercontinental title.
Valkyria, Lyra has to get those come from underdog wins, man. She got to pile them up. That's what she's doing. She's going on her underdog win run to see if the crowd is going to bite. And I don't think they ever will. Like Raquel's not the person. If she wants to do that, she has to beat Nia Jax.
Yep.
Like she has to avenge the Queen of the Ring. She has to get annihilated by Nia Jax for about 5 weeks straight, and then she has to beat Nia Jax. She has to get her nose broken by Nia Jax too. Like, the rub. The Nia Jax rub. Yes.
I just look, Bailey's great putting everybody over. But yeah, the tag titles, this is like the second or third time that he's done this with the tag titles. He moves the tag titles onto another pair, and then the pair gets pushed into the background, or they just do other stuff. So if Raquel ends up winning, does Liv now go after a singles title? And what happens to the tag titles? Like, I don't get it. We get a pre-tape video where Braun Breaker called himself the title picture. Love it.
Okay.
So Paul Heyman is working with Braun Breaker behind the scenes on promos and ring work, and I think that is great. And I hope they bring him out to be a better Brock Lesnar. I hope he becomes a Paul Heyman guy and comes out as a better Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was great, but as a better.
I can see that.
Then we get another great women's segment. Back-to-back shows.
Women are killing it. Yeah.
Back-to-back great segments. Io Sky comes out. Then Bianca comes out. Then Rhea comes out. They both push her to the side and ignore her, and they're both fighting, and she slaps the hell out of both of them. And I love it.
Yes. Io Sky.
But she's the underdog.
Correct.
And I like it.
They painted that segment so well because Bianca comes out there first and she's talking about Rhea the whole time. She's like, she's standing in front of Io, but she's talking about Rhea. Rhea comes out. Rhea's talking to Bianca, and so funny. She tries to get in there, and Rhea just mugs her off, and then like she tries to get up, she gets in there again, and Bianca mugs her off, and then she gets up there and smacks him, says, "I'm the champ." Like that is a way to really get yourself invested in the match. I thought her coming out there and just being so happy-go-lucky and being happy she's a champ was so perfect for her character. Yep. Like Io Scott, once again, she was a heel and she became a babyface. Why? Because the people just love her. The people just gravitate to her. She has that cool theme music. She has the aura when she does that lean back thing. She just has it. She has that factor. And she's a great wrestler. Yep. Like she can go with anybody in the ring. It doesn't matter who you put her in there.
One thing Kenny said about an established star needs to win an Intercontinental title so it has more meaning. I wish Dakota had won it over Valkyria, to be honest with you. I really wanted to see Dakota win it. And then Kenny comes up with another great point that Io has to retain at Mania. No way to give her the title, just take it from her. I also agree. I think that the Bianca and Rhea thing and Io can take advantage of both. And I want to see Io win at WrestleMania. Rhea's had the belt enough. Bianca hasn't had the belt in a while, so there's possible she may win it at some point. But I want Io to retain, and I want Bianca and Rhea to have their flair, their own little feud coming off of that, and that pulls Jade into it. Jade versus Rhea is a match.
I don't think Jade's ready for that match yet, though.
No.
Like I don't think she's ready. I think Bianca's never held the women's world heavyweight championship.
She held the other one.
Yeah, she's held the Smackdown. She's held the WWE, however they call them now. So I think Bianca's gonna win. I think when she won the Rumble, I think she's gonna win. And then Bianca and Jade and Naomi get into a feud. And I think at some point Naomi's gonna win a title. I feel like Naomi is gonna get a title,
I could see.
and Jade will chase, and I don't think they're gonna give. I think Jade might get the Intercontinental Champ, and I hate saying that because that's what they did there in
Yeah.
AEW. I think that's why she left AEW, because they just kept giving her mid cards and it was like, you're a mid card gal. But I don't think she's ready for the World Championship yet. But
No.
we'll see. We'll see.
And then we get the main event of the night. We get Seth Rollins, CM Punk in a steel cage. It felt like it started off slow, but at first I was like, all right, it's two old men in a cage fighting. CM Punk, you're gassed. You're not going to give us anything. But oh my God, did they deliver?
They told a story. They told a great story in there.
They told one hell. Hi, puppy. They had told one hell of a story. It just them doing each other's finishers, holding the door open, yelling at the other one to go out the door, a suplex off the top of the cage. Like there was just so many spots, and they each did each other's finisher like twice, right?
Yes, correct.
Seth Rollins ate like 3 or 4 go to sleeps.
Yes, that Seth Rollins could not lose this match. Like he couldn't lose it. Like he couldn't go down to. He didn't lose.
He didn't lose the match. No.
Yeah, no, he did. He didn't lose.
He tried to win the match.
That was my biggest gripe with the match. Was after you hit the super stomp, you're laying there looking at him, and I know why he laid there so long and looked at him, because Roman Reigns took forever to run down. I don't know if you saw the videos of him trotting down.
He was just like, I'm the tribal chief. I'm going to take my time. I don't have.
I'm going to take my time.
I'll just do what I want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just the optics of him just sitting there looking at him, it's like, I get, all right, I know you hate him. I understand that. But like, you have to win the match. Like Seth hates him, and he's staring at him like, oh, I got you. It's like, win the match though. Like, yeah.
I seeing the footage of him coming out and having him come through the crowd in a full circle moment, right? Roman always comes down the ramp. Roman doesn't come out of the crowd like the Shield days.
Yeah.
Seth always does that to Roman. Now here's Roman coming out of the crowd like the Shield, ripping the boy out of the ring like that. I expected Roman to show up. I wasn't ready for Roman at that moment. When he came up and grabbed him, I was like, oh, damn. I
thought he was going to get in there and just smash everybody. I thought I didn't think he was going to pull him out. But when he did, he did.
And he speared him, and he Superman punched him, and then everybody came out. He was about to rock him on the steps, and they came out, and he was ready to go at him again, and he looked up in the ring. And
what did the kids say? Cinema. What the kids call it? Cinema, man.
And there's CM Punk kneeling in the middle of the ring, upset, and who's consoling him? Paul Heyman. That snake. That weasel. I love Paul Heyman.
That was such a great moment, because they panned at first, the camera panned to the ring, and I didn't see what was going on in the ring. But the second time they panned and I saw Paul Heyman, I was like, oh, that's genius. That was the most brilliant move, is Paul Heyman is sitting there on one knee, consoling him. It's okay. It's okay. And the look on Roman Reigns' face said so much. It was like, get away from my father. Get away from my dad. Like, that's my dad.
Yeah. And then he went in and he threw Punk all around that ring for a minute.
Such a good moment.
And gave us the ones. I agree. Paul Heyman, Kenny said Paul Heyman turns on Roman at WrestleMania. I agree.
I do think that's going to happen.
Paul Heyman is an opportunist.
Yes.
Turned on Roman already once with Brock Lesnar a little bit. The bloodline story is forever going.
Yeah.
It's constantly, Paul Heyman said in the past, there is nothing in regards to the bloodline that's on camera that isn't meant for something. Whether it's in the forefront or the background, there's a reason they do everything, and their long-term planning. Could that be Punk's favor? Could Punk's favor not be a main event match, but could it be leave Roman and come to my side? Turn on Roman? Could I've been your guy first? You know?
I think I would lean more towards that if Punk starts losing matches prior to Mania.
Like this
one. If he lost this one, and if Roman or Seth cause him to lose any more matches before Mania, then for sure. I mean, I think it's certain already. I think Heyman's going to go back with Punk. It just makes sense from a storytelling standpoint, because it stretches the story out a lot longer, because now you got Roman, a broken-hearted Roman whose uncle left him to go back to his other family or something. Like, it just great story. That was such a great shot of him just looking in the ring. I just
that whole match and the ending was like you said, cinema. The crowd was a little bit back and forth. Now, something that WWE did, they let Cody curse.
They did.
And they bleeped out middle fingers.
Middle fingers.
So from what I was reading again about this, Netflix has given WWE full creative control over their show. So anything that's bleeped is on WWE's side, not Netflix's side. Netflix is not telling them, yo, you can't do this. Because again, we said before, Netflix shows tatas.
They do. That says. But I think the WWE brand, though, like, they're such a global brand in some places where it's not okay. One of the main places where it's just not okay. And
I think verbally it's okay, but the physical act of showing a middle finger like that is sometimes a little bit worse. A little kid maybe isn't listening to the TV.
Yeah.
But sees that and now is going to run around doing that. So you're still a family product, even though you were uncensored on Netflix.
Yeah, like, that's why I take my family to WWE. I went to AEW and I didn't take my kids. It was like, I know there's going to be blood. It's going to be a car wreck.
Yeah.
And they don't care. Like, and it's not that they don't care. They're just a different demographic. They're going for the teenagers. They're going for the young men, the guys my age, but they're not going for the kids. They're like, don't take your kids to an AEW show. It's not for the light of heart.
I'm taking myself to an AEW show. But yeah, that was an A+ show for me.
Great show.
Where SmackDown is usually not. SmackDown's been a little more lackluster. Again, this week SmackDown was great too. Had some.
I thought it was solid. I wouldn't categorize it as great because it's too long. Like you said, there's the Braun Strowman spots, and I love Braun Strowman, but like, he gets old after a while.
I agree.
But yeah, SmackDown was good. It had its moment. I mean, the Bianca segment, the Bianca Naomi Jade segment was probably, and I said this, I think that's probably the best women's segment I think WWE's ever done. Like, women in the ring actually talking to each other, and it just was, it was so much done.
It was
in such a little time.
It was. I totally agree. What else? What else we got?
So we got Tuesday night. This is a packed week of wrestling. Tuesday night we had NXT Roadblock.
I had a hockey game I did not watch.
So you were talking about not going to see an AEW show. The first match of NXT Roadblock was the Hardys versus Fraxium, and the Hardys won. And I will go on record as saying I hate Jeff Hardy. I'm probably the biggest Jeff Hardy hater. And this weekend in El Paso, TNA is coming here. They're doing 2 nights. They're doing Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
And it's a pay-per-view, Sacrifice. I think that's on Friday. And one of the matches is Jeff Hardy versus Moose, who also fought at this roadblock.
Mhm.
It's Jeff Hardy versus Moose in the ladder match. And when I saw that match on the card, I did not buy tickets because I don't want to.
Wow.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see Jeff Hardy kill himself.
Thanks,
Like
Kenny.
that's
Thanks for hanging, buddy.
for sure. Thank you so much for dropping in, Kenny. Man, have a good night. But yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see Jeff Hardy kill himself in the ring. That's one of my biggest fears. Is I think that's what he wants. He wants to go out on his, you know,
He he'll be back to WWE. They're gonna make an appearance at WrestleMania just because.
yeah.
And
I definitely
that'll
see
pop
that.
for 'em, and, they'll run in on a New Day match.
Perhaps if New Day is on the card,
Yeah,
if New Day.
that's true.
But also on the NXT roadblock, we had let's see, we had Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez. Jordan Grace won. Jordan Grace is a new hot thing, another one of the new hot things in NXT. Obafemi versus Moose was a match that I was looking forward to. The match kind of undersold for me. Obafemi won. It was supposed to be a title for title match, but
Uh-huh.
then at the last minute they changed it. So I knew Moose was going to lose once they changed it to just being an NXT title match. They're not going to let a TNA person come and win their richest prize.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
Not
not yet, unless it's Joe Henry. I think they would do it for him, but I don't think they'd do it for Moose. But it was a hard hitting match, but it just fell short of what I expected it to be between those two. We had Ethan Page versus the young OG, Javon Evans. Javon Evans won by hitting a springboard cutter with Ethan
Woo!
Page's head inside of a chair to end that match. That was a great match.
Yeah.
Javon Evans is, I think, 22 years old, and this kid is that boy is bouncy, as he says in his theme song. He is something special, man. He's so good at such a young age, man. He has nothing like if he can stay healthy, I see nothing but great things for him in the future. And then in the main event, we had Julia versus Stephanie Vakir in a title versus title match. That's probably like a few months too soon. I don't know why they didn't do this at Stand and Deliver, but they did it at Roadblock. And Stephanie Vakir is your first double champion, or the first double champion since Mandy Rose was a double champion when she
Oh,
unified the NXT and the NXT UK titles. But yeah, Stephanie Vakir, I don't think they're going to unify those titles. That would be a terrible idea.
she'll just hold both of
Um,
them.
yeah, she'll hold both of them till she loses one of them to like Jordan Grace
Right.
or back to Julia. I don't know. There was some reports that came out that Julia was taking time off for some reason. I'm not exactly
Okay.
sure. I didn't really dig too deep into it, but yeah, that was a good match. Like those two have great chemistry with each other. But that wasn't my end of week wrestling. I watched AEW Dynamite, and
Where
AEW puts on great pay-per-views and then they put on crappy TV shows.
I
It was such a bore. Like it was terrible.
I I can't. I mean, not just for the fact that there's so much TV on right now that I have to watch for the other show, but just I cannot get behind AEW wrestling wise.
Really? I
Just
mean, I think wrestling is the only thing they have going for them because they put on spot fest matches, but some of them are good. Not
right,
all of them.
right.
Some of them are really
Sure.
good. They put on good matches, but it's so few and few between, and all the matches kind of blend into each other. Like it just becomes like you're watching a repetitive thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what just. Oh, there we go. We're back.
Oh, you
But
froze.
yeah, am I? Am I? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're froze. I wish I could screenshot this. Now you're Nope, you're still froze.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to come back out
That's a good
and.
profile picture. Hold on, let me snip this.
What just happened here? That's really weird.
Oh yeah. There we go. Peep that. Now it's just me. Hi everybody. TB back in 1 second. Nope, not yet. Almost. Almost. Normally, I would ramp and vamp and say some stuff, but T's got all the info on, the AEW stuff. But if you're still listening and you're this far in, make sure you like and you subscribe to the Island of Relevancy. We want you to come and talk to us. We want you to come and hang out with us. We need you to come and hang out with us. Now T's back.
I am back.
I was just telling people to come and like and subscribe us.
For sure. I'm so terrible at this YouTube thing. Like, I don't say it enough. I don't. Ace gets in here and he just when he does his live streams, he just it's part of his rhythm.
Yep.
And that's the only way I remember to like a lot of videos, when people constantly say it, because I'll forget to do it because I'm old. I'm not.
I'll make some bumpers.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, definitely like and subscribe. But really quick, do you want to talk about 2K? We'll make this extremely quick.
Yeah. So I spent the money on the Bloodline edition. Okay, I put all the money out there. I have a thing about buying video games to get early access. I just bought MLB The Show to get early access to start playing tomorrow night. I'm angry at this game because I like to do the showdown mode first. I like to unlock everything, and then I'll go mess around and create like the most awful looking. Last year I created a farmer with a weird face, and it's like really just I can't have a normal looking character in a video game. I'm either watching a girl's butt or I make a really awful weird man. That's how I do it. So I'm in the showdown mode, and the second showdown mode is you're the head shrinkers versus the Steiners back at WrestleMania way back.
9. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Steiners win, and your goal is to beat them. And when you get to a certain point, it goes to a cutscene, and you lose control of the characters. You cannot regain control of the characters. I have done everything. I have looked for help. There's other people that have the same issue. There's no way to get past that showdown and unlock everything right now. In my case, I had to start the match and just keep Scott Steiner in the ring and beat his ass and pin him to get to the next match, while not completing any of the showdown gives you all the tasks.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only way I could get to the next match. And then I was so disgusted with it, I just shut the game off. So hopefully there's a fix coming for that. Otherwise, graphically, I think the game's great. I haven't played any other modes yet, though.
So my initial impressions. So I'm such a weird human being. So I bought WWE. I'm a supporter. I'm a supporter.
Absolutely.
I bought WWE for the Xbox because I wanted to get it a little bit earlier because I'm a FOMO guy, and I also bought it for the PC because I'm a modder. I modder like that's the funnest part of the game for me, is getting modded characters, creating a very accurate universe. And I play Universe on the PC quite a bit.
Okay.
There was an issue with the MyRise where the MyRise didn't work the first 2 days. But I redid my save, and then the next day, because I didn't think they were going to put out a patch until today or tomorrow.
Right.
But they put out a patch that same day after I deleted my save and started all over. So I had to beat the showcase twice. And I hate doing the showcase. I never do the showcase on PC. I do it on the console, and I do all of my raw stuff on the console. But on PC, it's just straight universe, straight mod. And I might start actually recording videos this year, but I'm scared of getting copywritten because I'll always have like all updated music and stuff like that. But like, I love the game so far. I'm never gonna play the island. Like I've already deduced that.
I've read some stuff. Now the island's more like PvP-ish, right?
Yes, I don't do that.
I ain't into that.
Yeah, no, not my thing. And that's why I didn't care if the island came to the PC or not, because it's just not my thing. Right. The island, let's see, 2K is and this is my boy Brian jumped in the chat. 2K is awesome. I didn't have that showcase. Yeah.
I'm seeing it on Reddit, but I enjoy the game and will enjoy the game. Just now, baseball's going to take over for me, and
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get MLB this year because I don't have enough time. Like, I really don't. I barely have enough time to play WWE. So I don't want to waste that money. I've already wasted, like I said, I bought it for both systems. And I bought the Bloodline edition for both systems. I'm an idiot. I'm
Dude,
that guy.
I bought Monster Hunter, I bought Avowed, I bought WWE 2K, and I bought MLB The Show. I have played 2 matches in WWE, 10 minutes of Monster Hunter, and just it's not my game, and maybe a half hour of Avowed, and it's just not. I play
Yeah.
Destiny, so I have time. I have all the time in the world. My kids are, one moved away, one 22. He's, you don't want to be bothered. I got all the time in the world. I'm a single guy, and
It just
just threw out a couple $100 in video games to play baseball basically this weekend.
No, I'm gonna get into it. But I hope there's a few more things they have to fix for the game it won't be perfect, but
Mhm.
I think they could get it a little bit better. And I just need the creation suite has to work because
Yeah.
like people are making it's the pre-sale or like the pre-order time. And the creations, man, I don't know I love looking at the creations and looking at some of the shitty creations people make.
Waiting
They have the
time?
great pictures and like the pictures and you click on it and it's like, I've been looking for a Jordan Grace, like
Mm.
cause I want to start my rise with Jordan Grace.
Mhm.
And like, they're like probably like 20 of the same model. All of them have different profile pictures and it's like the exact same thing. They all look exact same. It's like, but they're all from different people. And I just think that's hilarious.
I can't wait to make mine up eventually and show you.
I can't wait. You know what, Brian, if you're in 2K, I'd go on the island just to fight you.
There you
Just
go.
to fight you.
I am not saying that to anyone because I
Oh, no.
absolutely suck at PvP stuff anymore.
Me too. I've never done it. I barely could beat the computer on Legend sometimes. Like they're pretty they kick out a lot. That's what I would say.
I don't
And I
play.
have a hard time kicking out.
I play on I wanna win mode. I wanna be the best.
For the showcase, I put it on easy. For the
Yeah.
showcase, I'm trying to get the money in the bank match. You paid for that 100, right? There's no way there's no way you grind. There's no way you grind it to that 100 in a week.
I mean, there are some people that do that.
I respect it. You know what? Brian has all the time in the world. He has like 12 kids
There you
and
go.
and a wonderful family, and he's traveling all the time playing volleyball and stuff. Like, man,
Man.
I know you paid for that 100, but that's all right. You know what? I'm definitely not about to. That's the one thing I'm not gonna. I'll do that in 2K, NBA 2K, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that in WWE 2K.
There you go. It comes with the Bloodline edition. You got 100.
Oh, it does?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, they do give you like 150 VK or something. VC.
Oh, and I bought golf early. I bought PGA 2K25 golf, and I don't play that no more.
No, I can't do that.
I got too much money out in video games.
You know what?
It's almost Lego season for me, so.
You're right. You're right. The Bloodline edition does come with VC.
Mm.
You know, man, we're gonna link up. We're gonna link up in the island, man. I'll play the island if you're playing the island. Because I said I was gonna do that with NBA 2K, but I just never got on there. I very rarely play that game now. But yeah, we'll definitely link up on the island. But it has almost been an hour and 30 minutes, and we've talked a lot of wrestling. We talked about 2K, but it's time to end this. We don't have a theme song yet. We're working on it. We're getting there to the theme music to end the Island of Relevancy podcast, aka live stream, aka just a good time, man. I appreciate everybody who stopped in. Kenny Sparks, Brian, and Ace. Ace always pops in, always shows love. And yeah, you guys will catch us next week. It'll be Wednesday, maybe, depending on your hockey.
We're gonna have to talk about that. I got a lot. Like playoffs are starting, so we're gonna have to figure something out next week.
That's fine, but I'll let y'all know on the Facebook page. I'll let the Discord know. We are the ones, and we'll catch you next week. I appreciate that so much for y'all showing up, and we'll catch you later.